So you're back. You're back for part 10. All right. We're going to get on into this. Still continuation of Bubbling Brown Sugar on Broadway, but then I'm going to join the touring company and head out to Los Angeles. Hopefully you've seen all the other parts. I always say that. But if you just want to watch this one and you've never seen anything else, feel free. I ain't mad at you. Okay? So now, keep watching. See you in a few. In New York, enjoying success with Bubbling Brown Sugar. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, it was everything that I had hoped for. And I'm telling you, people were turning out. And the black folks, baby, they were coming in on Sunday afternoon from those churches. We were having church up in there. Well, I was doing loads of publicity and so happy, so grateful because everything was coming to fruition. It was everything that I had worked toward, and I felt blessed. I felt grateful. It was happening, and it just felt so good. Now, the office got a call from Vogue magazine, and they wanted me to do a 2-page layout in Regines. Regines was a very, very famous nightclub in Paris, and they opened up a Regines in New York, so they wanted me to do the photo shoot there, and it was going to be a 2-page layout. Of course I said yes. What else was I going to say? I mean, this was unbelievable. So there I was in Regines in this beautiful red gown. I think it was Scott Berry. I can't remember. And I was wearing an Harry Winston diamond worth $250,000. Yes, I was. And it was accompanied by these 2 security guards from Harry Winston. So when the shoot was over, they said, "We'll take that diamond, Miss Reed." Do you have to be in a... "We'll take the diamond, Miss Reed." I had to give up the diamond. But let me tell you something. Before the shoot got started, one of the guys said, "Miss Reed, could we see your smile?" I said, "Sure." They said, "Miss Reed, don't ever smile in photos. It's not your best look." It's not your best look. They said, "It's not natural." They said, "Just smile from the corners of your mouth." So if you notice me in a lot of my photos that I've taken down through the years, I am rarely smiling. Just a little smile right at the corners of my lips. Anyway, and the makeup artist, baby, she beat my face within an inch of its life. It was so dramatic. And they also stopped me from wearing eyelashes. I used to wear the tops and the bottoms. They said, "You don't need those eyelashes. You need to stop wearing them." So I stopped wearing the eyelashes. But the photo shoot, it was so beautiful. If you go to vivianreed.com and look under photos, under performance photos, you will see it. It's a 2-page layout. I'm in red, and you will see these photos. Wonderful shoot. Now let's talk about something else I did that happened on Broadway. It was in God Bless the Child. Now you know what? When people pay good money to come to see you, to see a show, they don't want to know about all your issues outside of the theater. They are paying for you to do a show, and that's what they want to see. They want to see you at your best. Child, I was singing God Bless the Child. In the middle of the song, why would I start thinking about peas and rice? Maybe I was hungry, I don't know. But peas and rice in the middle of God Bless the Child? So this is how it went. Yes, the strong gets weak. Ain't no strong gets weak. But then that's where I was thinking about peas and rice. I said, "Oh God, how am I going to get out of this?" This is what I sang. Yes, the strong gets weak, and the weak gets strong. The strong gets weak, and the weak gets strong. Child, and those lyrics don't even exist in Bubbling Brown Sugar, but that was the only thing I could come up with. The lyrics really are, yes, the strong gets more, while the weak ones fade. Those are the lyrics. But you see, I was thinking about peas and rice. My concentration went. I never did that again, ever. Please don't do that. You go to that theater, don't be thinking about what food you're going to have after the show is over or whatever. Leave that outside of theater. They want to see you inside that musical doing your best, concentrating. All right. So I was sort of kind of getting tired, and burning out, and I just wanted to take a break from Bubbly Brown Sugar because I had been with it from the beginning. So I told Ashton, I said, Ashton, I gotta take a break. I gotta leave the show. So he said, okay, fine. He said, that's fine, Vivian. So a few months later, maybe 9 months later, I get a call from Ashton, and he wants me to join the touring company because they're going to be opening Bubbling Brown Sugar at the Pantages in Los Angeles. Oh, that's a wonderful opportunity, so I jumped at that. And by the way, Honey Coles, the great tap dancer who became my manager when I was going to Juilliard and at the Apollo Theater, I talked him back into coming into show business, and he was in that company. I was thrilled to be working on the stage and sharing the stage with him. It was wonderful. Anyway, so now we're out at the Pantages. Big opening, great, well received. And I get an offer to do the Bob Hope special. Now, for those of you who are young, you probably have never heard of the name Bob Hope. Bob Hope was a very, very famous comedian. And he worked all over, did the biggest nightclubs, did TV specials, everything. And he had a yearly TV special with big names. And they had asked me to be a part of it. Oh my God, what an honor. And guess who was on the bill? Lucille Ball, Jack Alberton, and Bernadette Peters, and a few others. I was so honored to be a part of that TV special. It was, and I sang They Wanted God Bless a Child, and I did a song and dance number. And I wore this beautiful, beautiful black gown that they got for me for God Bless a Child. Now, I want you to remember that gown, okay? Remember that. So the TV special went off. It was well received. I got great reviews, so I was blessed to have been asked to do that. So now let's get back to the show. Someone has come up with the brilliant idea that a chorus line, which was also playing there in Los Angeles, should play Bubbling Brown Sugar, the cast of Bubbling Brown Sugar against the cast of A Chorus Line in a baseball game. We're competing. Well, I was all up for that, except the only problem is I didn't own any blue jeans and I didn't own any of them chunky sneakers. So what did I wear? Some dumb designer outfit with these wedges tied at the ankle. Very cute shoes though, by the way, very cute. Baby, Bubbling was up at bat, right? I was at bat. Was ready to hit that ball. He pitched that ball. Bam! I hit the ball, went running past first, heading to second. I hit second, my foot hit the edge of that. It was a raised base from the ground. It was elevated. My foot turned over. I screamed, fell to the ground. The game came to a complete stop. And they were doing footage for television. Can you imagine? I was in pain. They rushed me to the hospital. I think the game continued on, but they rushed me to the hospital. I couldn't walk for 2 weeks. And they said it would probably be 6 to 8 months before I could do any kind of dancing again. Well, honey, Ashton Springer, you know, the general manager, he called me. Now, his voice is already high-pitched, or was already high-pitched. He passed away, I think, a few years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago. Voice was high-pitched, but when I spoke with him on that phone, when he called, Vivian, how could you do such a thing? Could you? Do you know we have to give money back at the box office because you're not in the show? I said, Ashton, I'm sorry. Oh, what can I do? Maybe, you know, maybe when I'm on crutches, maybe I could come and just sing God Bless a Child. Do you think the audience would accept that? So he said, well, you think you could do that? I said, yeah. He said, well, how long before you get on crutches? I think it's going to be like a couple of weeks. He said, okay, well, let me know when you're ready. So in a couple of weeks, Gene, the guy I was going with and living with, He was literally carrying me around the apartment that we were sharing. So in 2 weeks' time, I was able to support myself with these crutches. So I called Ash and I said, I'm ready. I can come and do, God Bless a Child. So I wore that black gown. Remember the black gown that I wore for God Bless a Child in the Bob Hope special, for the Bob Hope special? That's what I wore for God Bless a Child. And remember in the last show, I think it was not the last show, but the last part 9, I think it was, part 9 or 8, we talked about that dolly that they rolled me in on for God Bless a Child, and the stage hand didn't stop before it came to the end of the track. That's what I was going to be using. Perched on that cube in this black gown singing God Bless the Child. And the audience seemed to accept that. It was okay. They had very few complaints that I wasn't doing the whole role, wasn't doing Sweet Georgia Brown, so it was fine. Well, Danny Holgate told me at some point that some of the ladies called a meeting. Now this is different from the big cast meeting that they had on me. But this was another meeting that the ladies called with Danny Holgate and stage management. And what they said was that anybody could put on a red dress and white tuxedo and get the reviews that I received. Danny said, are you kidding me? You really think Vivian is receiving these reviews because she's wearing a red gown and a white tuxedo? And he immediately, the meeting was over. He said, the meeting is done. We're done here. So when Danny told me that, I was like, really? Well, listen to this. When the show finished in Los Angeles, I'm ready to go back to New York so I can really recuperate. The management from the theater, because don't forget it's a touring company, so they're going on to Seattle. The management from that theater in Seattle called and wanted to know if I would open that show there. So Ashton explained to them, he said, well, she's not doing her whole complete role because she can't dance. She was in an accident. She can't dance. So she can only do God Bless the Child. They said, fine, we'll take that. Well, I went up to Seattle. Now remember, there's no red dress, no white tuxedo. I'm wearing a black gown, sitting, can't even stand, and saying God Bless the Child. And you should have seen the reviews. Wonderful. So here's my point. It's not about an outfit that you're wearing. It really is not. When it comes to performing, to motivational speaking, to any kind of public anything, it's about how you deliver that message. It has nothing to do with what you're wearing. Yes, that adds to the overall look, but it's not the end all. Are you communicating with that audience? And that's what I could do in spades, because I love picking up a piece of music and just looking at it to see what I can do with it and how can I get that across to the audience. And that's why, without a red dress and without a white tuxedo, it worked. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and tell your friends. So now I'll see you in part 11. Bye.